In a new segment we call Stoner's Nuggets, I'll give you 5 cool, interesting nuggets about this Sunday's game, Commanders versus Eagles. Make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe button right here on Ref the District.
Let's hit them, Stoner, with those nuggets. Let's take a bite out of it.
All right, so Sunday, Washington Commanders 9-5 host the Eagles, who are 11-2, 1 p.m. Northwest Bank Stadium, right? It's on Fox. Joe Davis and Greg Olson, which I believe is their number 2 team, if I'm not mistaken. So they're giving this game a little bit of importance. Washington is a 3.5-point underdog. The over and under is 45.5 if you go check it out on Bet Online. Like the Eagles' offense is pretty good. They're 6th ranked offense in the NFL, but in rushing, they are the first. They are number 1 rushing offense in the NFL. In passing, believe it or not, they are the 28th ranked team in passing. The Eagles are. However, you go over to the defensive side of the ball, and here's your first little nugget. We love talking about Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley and Kenneth Gainwell and all of those and that great offensive line. And we love talking all about that. This team is led by their defense. Pure and simple. This defense is a bad MFing defense.
Mm-hmm.
They are first in total yards. They are first in passing yards. They are 7th in rushing yards. And they are 3rd in points per game. They average giving up only 17.6 points per game. The very first nugget I want to give you, since their bye week, here are the number of points they've given up in their games. Since their bye week, when they were kind of struggling at 2-2, and they've won 10 straight, they've given up 16, 3, 17, 23, 6, 15, 20, 19, 16, and 13. Wow. They don't give up points. This defense does not. They are an absolute, they're a bunch of dogs on that defensive side of the ball. And they don't do a whole lot of blitzing when they play. They rely, like we used to do. We used to rely on our front 4 to get home, and they never did. This front 4, they rely on them, and they do get home. So their defense are a bunch of absolute studs. There's your first nugget for that. Your next nugget, A.J. Brown via PFF is the number 1 best one-on-one receiver in the game this year, statistically speaking, via PFF. Keep that in mind. If you want to see and you want to figure out if the Marshawn Lattimore deal was a good deal, right? Let's see what happens this Sunday with Marshawn Lattimore 1v1 on A.J. Brown.
Eat him alive.
So we'll see how that goes. You're muted, Nathan.
Sanistro actually had some pretty good reps against A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, the last rep. He wasn't on them the entirety, but it was after pretty much Joe Witt had thrown everybody over on that side. Nobody was having a good day, and Sanistro had that good pass breakup, and then almost the same exact one against Davis as well.
Next, let's not forget that Washington led that first game against Philadelphia 10-6 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And they absolutely fell apart, and Saquon Barkley just annihilated them. And so they outscored Washington 20-8 in the fourth quarter. So, and also Washington has been outscored in the fourth quarter in 5 of their last 6 games. Mm-hmm. The only one they didn't was the Tennessee game, which they absolutely dominated. Every fourth quarter in the last 6 games, except for Tennessee, they've been outscored. Something's going on in the fourth quarter. I don't know what it is. I think they have overall for the year, like the 5th worst fourth quarter point differential. Keep an eye on that. You're leading going into the fourth. No lead is safe with Washington right now.
You're right.
Jalen Hurts has 15 rushing touchdowns. Did you all know that? You know what the record is? Anybody know what the record is for rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in a season?
17.
Jalen Hurts has 15 right now.
17.
Trick question. The answer is 15. He has the record.
Wow.
So
how many of those are touch pushes?
Oh, probably most of them, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Touchdown's a touchdown. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, by the way, Josh Allen also has 15 this year. So they're tied. They've both broken the record, which was set by Cam Newton.
Let's go Allen then. Score more on the ground.
Get Allen to do it.
Don't give the Eagles any satisfaction.
All right, and I've got one more nugget, but actually I wanted to remind everybody that this Commanders defense, which we've always kind of worried about, right? Especially last year, how bad it was. But this year, they're the 11th ranked defense in total yards. And what might be the most stunning is that passing, they're the 4th best passing defense. And Nathan brought it up with some of the stats, with Sanistrill and Iggy, and of course Lattimore against the Saints. They had like 3 catches against them. This is a good very good pass defense right now. And the Eagles are not good passing offensively on average.
Yeah, don't really need to with Saquon Barkley, but I mean,
right, exactly. Yeah. So Washington's defense is 25th ranked against the run, and of course the Eagles are number 1 rushing the ball. So that's what they're going to, and maybe the Marshawn Lattimore deal, having him out there and trusting him one-on-one, can allow them to pay a little more attention to Saquon Barkley up in the box. But he's a different animal, that Saquon Barkley. So, all right, one more nugget for you. Do you all remember the draft day video of Adam Peters? Remember he was talking to Howie Roseman when they made that trade, that draft day trade. Do you remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was he was kind of goofing on Roseman because Howie Roseman was trying to pull
he was trying to work him over.
Yeah. He was trying to give him, in their whole deal that they did, he was trying to give him pick 210 instead of 161. And Peters was like, no, I want your 161, not your 210. Anyway, the big part of that deal was Philadelphia wanted to move up to 40. So the agreement was they're going to move up to 40. Washington's going to move back to 50 and 53. And Washington's picks 50 and 53 were Sanistrill and Sinnott, right? Do you know who Philadelphia got at 40?
Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, Cooper DeJean. That dude is a stud.
He definitely can play.
Yeah.
He is a stud.
So
what would it have been like? Like we don't have any, we love Sanistrill, right? And he is on that same level, rookie-wise, as DeJean, right? But what if Washington had stayed put? And I believe he said to Roseman, he said, no, when they were trying to do it, he said, no, we're just going to take the guy.
Yeah.
And I think
threatened it. He said, if you don't give me that, I'm just going to take the guy.
Yeah. And I think that was DeJean, right?
Oh,
because
100%.
Philadelphia won. Think about how this team might be different if they had DeJean, right? And Philadelphia, who knows what they would have done with their picks. Anyway, I just found that really interesting.
It is a pretty interesting note. It is a pretty interesting
note.
They got a stud at 40. We got a stud at 50. But
he's been coming on the last few games. I don't think he started off a stud. Neither did Sanistrill to be that measure, but he has been playing very well lately and starting to show why he was picked that high in the first place.
Yeah.
So not to give too much love there. We're not perfect either. And Wonton here calling us out a little bit with the 3 times in a season. It's a myth. And I looked this up. This is why I was muted earlier. But from Wonton here, it's difficult beating a team 3 times in a season. Sentiment is a myth. There's been 25 such instances in the sweeping team wins 2 out of 3 times. And sure enough, I had looked that up, and that is accurate. It's tilted heavily to the team that won the sweep. So maybe a bit more important this weekend than we were giving it up to be here, because Washington potentially landing that 7th spot. Philadelphia still in position for the 1 overall seed. We hope to kind of stop that from happening, but if they don't, they end up at 2 spot, which means these teams will meet a 3rd time, and it will be up in the link.